Welcome to Counties in Focus, only on Look Up TV. I am your host, Jupiter Mayaka. In studio today, we are talking about the development in BBI. In studio today, we have a guest who is our political commentator, James Kahura. But before I welcome our guest, I want us to watch a short clip on the same after Kisumu and Siaya passed the BBI.
This House approves the Building Bridges Initiative Constitutional Amendment Bill of 2020. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. And will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
The due process that was followed in this regard is in accordance with the law, and it captures the spirit of the people of Siaya, and therefore the support that we are giving BBI here today, we want it to be extended so that other counties also do the same, because BBI is the panacea for our future development, peace and tranquility.
Thank you so much, Mr. James Kahura. Welcome to Look Up TV. We're talking about the development in BBI. Siaya County and Kisumu County have passed BBI. And BBI for 24 counties, if 24 counties pass the BBI, then we go for a referendum. You are an anti-BBI supporter. Why don't you support BBI?
Well,
reasons.
I first of all begin by saying thank you for having me here. And of course, yes, I don't support BBI because in the first place, if you want someone to like something or to love something, first you have to introduce to him or her and you show him what you want him to like or not to like. This time around, we are being forced to have something that is already hidden. Because when I say it is hidden, not every Kenyan who has this document. And we can do it practical, and you move to like a county like Nairobi here, where we have population, it is so high. You go asking people from Kayole, Utawala, Githurai, if they are aware of this thing. Have they even touched the document, perused? They have no idea. But they are told to support something they have not seen, but they only hear, we only hear. Even myself, I've been in Nairobi for quite a long time. Since they initiated the document, I've not been able to come up across that booklet. I only saw something that looks like eulogy. When someone dies, the one we go and look the history.
There's a document which is all 290 pages. It's even online.
If it is a document, why are they holding the document? We want it out so that we can argue with the knowledge.
The document is in public domain.
I can see for a selection, that is because if maybe guys working in media, you have the PCs, the chiefs, they have. But what about the commoner, the Wanjiku? The one they are calling now the hustlers. Do they have this document? You know, we cannot argue, we cannot discuss or something we don't. Because if I had even right now, I could quote, I can say article this, it says this. So I can be able to tell you now, I will support it because I've already read it, understood. And if I didn't understand it, I had someone, an expertise who could tell me this is the meaning of this. But I've not seen the document. I was lucky to see some in the social media, but it was just...
That is part of the information that
no way, social media, tell me, Jupiter, across Kenya we have a population of roughly 50 million Kenyans. Yes. How many do they have the media flyers, the phone? Majority are still analog, and that's something we cannot run out of. We can agree.
But
that's
the
reality.
Content of BBI?
BBI, I can say I only knows the top layer, but I don't know what is the real context inside, because I only have seen the front page BBI document.
Now
period.
You've seen the front page BBI.
Yes.
But you are anti.
Yeah, I'm
BBI.
Anti.
How can you be an anti when you don't know what is really inside the document that we're talking about?
When we saw the one which was initiated at the Bomas, that one we had a copy. We knew it was all youth will have to go through NYS training. If you feel like remaining NYS, that was your choice. If you want to work with the government, you go apply. When you want now to be employed by the NYS also, but the BBI they are talking about.
Which other document are you talking about? Because
Now,
we only know of one.
No way. I'm very surprised if you only have, one.
No, we
Be
have
realistic.
the one that
We
is
have
in
the
public.
BBI 4, the one even the promoters, one of them, they signed something in a surprise. They later came to realize, hey, what are we signing? Because they are, the BBI which was there, it was proposing the IEBC will have to be constituted by political parties. But the one we saw them now taking their signatures, the KICC, it is the BBI 4. After people rose argument and advances, there were so much they could not even handle. Then they saw, all of a sudden, probably at night, sure, something else was launched at the KICC. That one, no one who has it. And that's
now
the
we
fact.
are talking about the one that we know, the one in public domain, which has so many, like 9 agendas it wants to deal with. Like the president, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, came together with Honorable Raila Odinga. They say that they were going to deal with corruption, ensure that all political affiliation shall not be used to shield those who found to be corrupt. Don't you think that is not going to work?
It can never work. Under the sun in this country, why are you lying to yourself? There are some things we can only lie to unborn babies and blind people. If you are willing to fight corruption from the day one, we have seen even big people taking big positions in the government. They are caught, and we don't even need so much evidence because it happened in their docket, and in fact they were involved in one way or the other. Maybe they use proxy who are their friends. Even the agencies, they gave a report, and we were very surprised when one of the agents that deals with anti-corruption, they gave Kenyans a report, and we later came to hear from the other party saying now they are going to hire experts from other nation to come and help in, and they had promised the entire nation that we in 21 days we were to see the culprits and stance action was to be applied toward them. But we failed to understand. Till today we are still waiting. But few companies were mentioned, and even some of the directors were called to the parliament. They ceased not to go. They sent their representative, and then the committee which was concerned, it declined to share information with that because they demanded the real who was mentioned in the report. If you are unable to do that, that could be now the testing water, the litmus. If you are genuinely want to fight corruption and you can prove to Kenyans that you want to lead, that the BBI can sort the issue of corruption, it could be the first. You deal with it and you show all 47 million Kenyans that these were the people who were involved in the KEMSA scandal. If you cannot be able to reveal them, then what are you telling us that the BBI is going to help this country in sorting the issues to do with corruption? That's a total lie. It can only happen maybe in Jupiter or elsewhere, but not planet Earth.
Corruption has been there. It has really dug deep into the system in Kenya. Now, for BBI, they're proposing that because corruption has been there and it hasn't been dealt with, so we bring BBI into the new, and the corrupt leaders are going to face action. Why don't you think that they are trying to find a solution to what has been there and hasn't worked?
I can ask you a simple question. You are living in an area where there are thugs who are smuggling and they are mugging ladies, parcels and what have you bag, and grabbing people's phones and valuable stuff, and then you want to help that area and you are involved. You know, at night you wait for someone who's coming from job to do the same act. Will you involve yourself in that if you want to cap that thing so that you can give a lasting solution toward people being their goods being stolen and taken away? You yourself, can you manage to be in that committee that wants now to give a lasting solution? The answer is you cannot. So we have the parliament. The work of MPs is to prepare laws to be used by the entire nation. If they are willing to deal with the corruption, they don't need a visa to enter to Parliament building. They just wake up in the morning, table the motion, and say we are going to amend this and this, and we are going to put these as penalties if you are caught in act of corruption. And once they pass the bill, it is done and dusted. And whoever who goes against or whoever who violates that certain article, then you find yourself dancing in a hot pot. And that's what we wanted as Kenyans. But when you come here to lie to us that you're preparing a document that can give us a solution, and you people, you know, that's your mandate, huh? You are not helping this nation. I want one day for the MPs, and even those one who are going to be involved maybe in the 13th Parliament, to go and table the motion there that whoever who will be caught practicing corruption in Kenya, the answer will be to be shot dead. You finish that so that even the spirit can never hover around within to affect the coming generation. Not unless we do something crazy to teach the coming generation and the generation to come, so that it can be a sign of warning that if you allow yourself to be involved in such act, prepare yourself now to lose your life.
But for you to shoot someone, Mr. Kahura, you have to really have concrete evidence that this person is corrupt. That's why we have the judicial system.
I know it's not even tricky. You know, you people, you like beating around the bush. Let us go direct to the issue. I'm a thug. I've stolen that tank or this machine, the camera here, and it is not there, but it was there, and I am the one who was here, no one else. Which evidence do you want? Is either I produce back the camera or otherwise I lose my life. And trust you me, I believe maybe one of these days to come, I'm going to vie for presidential. That is in future. If I become your president, one rule that I'll make sure that all those MPs, they pass. And I will have to prove all Kenyans who will vote for me that time when it comes. I'll make sure, Jamhuri Day, I'm going to parade all those people who have ever, be it you have ever served as a director, parastatal, minister, whether retired or practicing, maybe you are in a certain commission and you engage yourself in corruption. I'll make sure publicly you are dealt with. And from that function, you people will be sent to the roots of where the people who goes to rest in peace goes, and then the entire nation are going to learn from you. Once they see those carcass there being thrown to the lions, yeah, we'll make sure you communicate to the KWS. Don't feed the lions. Today we have their special meal, and it will be made publicly. Once we feed the lion, the people who takes this country backward, and we all aims to go forward and achieve as a country. Because when I look at Kenya, I want Kenya to be in one position with Singapore or Thailand or Malaysia, because it's like we got independence the same, but you are left behind. They are in 1,000 kilometers, we are struggling with the 15th kilometer. It is very embarrassing. And the same people who are now coming to introduce some other things, they think Kenyans are false. Let me tell you, the BBI is not the solution to what? Let us come together, talk together. Let us now ask ourselves, are we to go this way or we are ready to change? And where our problem started, it started here. And who are the main cause? Are you ready to change, or we do something crazy so that now we can now choose to go this way? But for BBI, you can never change man case of Muthaiga forest. You now pack them, deploy them to Karen forest, and you think now the characters of the man case from Muthaiga, it has changed. You are not solving anything. There are key issues. Like where I stand, from my part of view, I want the TJRC to be implemented first. Then I want the Ndongo report to be implemented. Then the electoral reforms, whereby some of these candidates, presidential candidates, they keep on complaining things are not working well to them. So they have got rights. The way I have my right, also you should also be having your right. So let us do what they proposed. They said electoral reforms. We could have gone to that way. we can at least, and then TJRC and the Ndongo's report, we are ready to sort issues of this country, and we can have a new beginning whereby each and every person is not affected. Because even if we bring BBI and TJRC is still holding, there's someone holding some bitterness in their hearts. But once we implement the TJRC, people are going to come together. We start now, we stop singing handshake for two people, we sing handshake of millions Kenyans. It will be so amazing whereby I can move from Murang'a County, I go to Kisii, I vie for governor, or I go to Kisumu and I be governor elected there, and people of Kisumu, they dance to me and they feel, this Kahura James has come here like David to sort our problem. And we will be having amazing state known as Kenya.
Kisumu County and Siaya are the first two counties to approve the BBI. If they get to 24, then of course now it goes to a referendum. It's taken to the National Assembly, the Senate, and then it goes to the referendum. What if, because you're anti, what if it passes all the 24 counties and plus?
Number one, without a doubt, I cannot credit that the 24 counties are going to be achieved.
What if they do?
Let us not say what if, because
yeah, you know, you're so
let us be realistic. I'm very confident because I know this thing is a dead on arrival. If they meant what it is in that document, they could first of all make it publicly to all Kenyans. To have the document perused, read, understand. If they fail not to understand, they hire for expertise. In the villages, town centers where people can do barazas, they are told, now this is it. Then from there we pick it. Kisumu, they are just a bunch of psychophants. When their master say, we are going to do this, we are going to eat bananas, we stop, the orange has turned to be bitter, now let us eat banana. As much as you are psychophant, you can. I can show you. And I want to thank Kangata, Irungu Kangata, the Senate whip. He wrote a letter which was very, very amazing, advising on what has to be done. At a time like today, it's like now you want to preach to someone who is angry. Do you think he can listen to the scriptures you are reading to him? He cannot. But what if you come up with a packet of milk and a piece of bread? First of all, you dine together, then you enter into the... But that guy will have all the teachings stuck in his or his mind. Then you come here, you tell us, when our economy has gone down to the drain, you have no formula of resuscitating our economy. People are having problems. People have failed not to raise bills to clear their bills, to look after their family. You have seen how families are breaking nowadays. People are killing. I'm killing my wife and children because of things which have not been addressed. Then you are bringing us the BBI. That's why I thank Kangata, because he said, after BBI, sometimes taking it to other places, ni shida tupu. Kwanza, let us address the key issues that are bothering Kenyans. And it's all about to do bettering the lives of Kenyans through introducing mechanisms that can help them ease in their life, period. Then these other things will just come and fall on line. So for Kisumu and Siaya County, let them dance their music. But when it reaches to the climax, trust you me, you know, you'll just call me here. You'll invite me back here to come and do the analysis now. After you people, you have the clouds of shame. Yeah, because BBI goes nowhere.
If there will be no shame, that is the same time I will still call you here and you will clarify the same thing that you have said.
You ask what if it goes through.
Yes.
It can go through because you know the systems, they are so bribing nowadays. Yeah, you see members of parliament meeting together, then you see an expected meeting is called. Immediately they go and meet, they start singing a new song there. And it happened with the Okuro court. And let me tell you, 3/4 of the entire country, they were waiting for Punguza Mzigo initiative. That was the remedy that could heal all problems Kenya have been experiencing. Because one thing, Okuro court is very sober and independent-minded. He was not doing it to please someone or anyone. He did it because he was so more of patriotic. He was just sacrificing himself through giving us the knowledge he had so that he can see the country known as Kenya at least achieve something. But you see what happened. All MCA, I don't know where they gathered. And they had, majority of the counties had voted that bill, and then it was stopped. Then they resumed back. After one meeting, the Okuro Court bill, it was done and dusted, watered down. It could never saw the light of the day. And now that thing can happen, and they can go to the county assembly. We saw it. They were now given. Yesterday they approved the 4 point, I don't know what billion for their car grant. Why would they have waited for that long to approve it? Because one, in 2013 is when the deal was tabled, and they all agreed. They were supposed to have been given by 2015, 2014. Why at this time? Nurses are striking because their dues are not catered. We see some of the public servants have not been paid, and even Yatan himself have confirmed to the entire nation that Treasury has no money, and whatever they're asking for, it can never be met at this particular time. We had the COVID-19, the pandemic, it is there. Now why are you also giving this MCA? Why can't you save that money and you give? But because we want to insist that thing has to go through, they will use the car grant, the MCA blindly, without knowing that whatever you pass today is going to affect your girlfriend, your wife, your daughter, and the children to come. Then it will go through. But we, Raya, the commoners, Mwananchi, in fact, we are practicing. We have already worn our khaki suits. We are just marching, waiting for that BBI to come and show it dust. If it does well, it goes to the county assembly. Yes. Then it goes to National Assembly and the Senate. The final word with the commoners, the Wanjikos. And I don't know whether you people watch what happened yesterday somewhere. Yes. Within Kiambu County. Yes. That one is a sign to show Kenyans are fed up with kind of the thing that are happening in this country. So it can sail through to all those avenues, but when it comes now to the real referendum, yes, we are going to wake up even more than how we wake up when we want to elect a president. We will make sure we are on. We are now mobilizing people. Let us go on the ground, vote wisely. Voting wisely is how? Not to tie yourself into troubles. Let us go vote no, because this is a democratic state and we have got our right. Because we cannot be forced to eat ugali and we are ready to take sukuma wiki and brown, don't force us to take ugali and sukuma wiki and we are ready waiting for githeri or something else. If we choose to eat githeri, we will eat githeri. Even if you deploy chef from these big hotels, we are going to stare like a vampire movie. That ugali of yours you want us to eat. So the deal is here. We are going to make sure that deal can't sail through when it comes as a referendum. That is the Mwananchi now speaking from the ground. And you go also on the ground. Listen to them. Ask them. You will come to realize that thing. You have been forced to take medicine. You're not sick.
It has been a great conversation. We are focusing on the development in BBI after Siaya and Kisumu counties have approved the bill. We're waiting for others and we're waiting to see what happens next. In studio we had James Kahura, who is anti-BBI. Next time we're having pro-BBI to talk more about this. You can be sure to be part of this conversation by sending your SMS to 20374 or join us on Twitter and on Facebook and on YouTube.
You're watching Look Up TV.
Kibera slum. It's different and the biggest of its kind in Africa. With people drawn from different backgrounds, all united in their quest to beat the odds and change their lives. Amid a grinding poverty and neglect, theirs is a life driven by hope for survival, engineered by 3 P's: patience, passion, and perseverance. Join us on Look Up TV as we shine a light on Kibera's untold stories.
This is Turn your 50 bob into $1 million shilling investment. Changamka and Shindagari Chap Chap with Hometel. There's millions in shillings worth of prizes to be won. Send your 50 bob to paybill number 4040153 and get a chance to win 20,000 shillings daily. And each week, one person gets a chance to walk away with a Mazda Demio and another a Beth Mobility motorbike. Remember, the more times you try, you could be the winner of a fantastic Toyota Prado. Do not be left out. Send 50 shillings to paybill number 4040153, account name Lookup TV, and get yourself a Hometel lucky number. Changamka and Shindagari Chap Chap with Hometel promotion. For more information, visit www.shindagari.co.ke. Terms and conditions apply.
Lookup TV.
We are back on this conversation where we want to understand why the anti-BBI don't want to support the document that has been put forward. Now it's in the counties. Kisumu and Siaya have passed the county. Thank you for being part of this conversation. I am Jupiter Mayaka. We're focusing on counties in focusing on this BBI. And instead today we have Mr. James Kahura who's talking about this issue. Yes, Mr. James Kahura.
Yes.
You were talking
You're watching Look Up TV.
Kibera slum. It's different and the biggest of its kind in Africa. With people drawn from different backgrounds, all united in their quest to beat the odds and change their lives. Amid a grinding poverty and neglect, theirs is a life driven by hope for survival, engineered by 3 Ps: patience, passion, and perseverance. Join us on Look Up TV as we shine a light on Kibera's untold stories.
We are back on this conversation where we want to understand why the anti-BBI don't want to support the document that has been put forward. Now it's in the counties. Kisumu and Siaya have passed the county. Thank you for being part of this conversation. I am Jupiter Mayaka. We're focusing on counties in focus, focusing on this BBI. And instead today we have Mr. James Kahura. Let's talk about this issue. Yes, Mr. James Kahura.
Yes.
We were